My name is Roberto Giugliani. I am a medical geneticist working in Porto Alegre in Brazil. I have been involved with inborn errors of metabolism and lysosomal disease along my career and dedicate all my time and effort to rare disease. One of the diseases I am involved with is Niemann-Pick disease type C. Is a condition where patients are born with a mutation that leads to a progressive disease, may present in childhood with some abnormalities like liver enlargement, like some blood abnormalities, and with time it became much more a neurodegenerative disease that impacts very much the quality of life and even the life expectancy. Niemann-Pick disease type C is a disease where there is not most patients there is not an enzyme lacking, so there is no enzyme deficiency. In fact, it's a protein that is impacted, and the transportation of substance across the lysosomal membrane is impacted. So it's something that is not easy to replace, because it's a membrane protein in most cases, and so we have to work around the consequences of this. And what we have been doing is to try to interfere in the metabolism of specific lipids that may conduct to a better performance of the patients. There are several drugs. There is one drug approved for this therapy, but patients, they still, even with this therapy, they still have a disease progressing, probably at a slower rate. But there are unmet needs in patients with Niemann-Pick disease type C. There are several treatment options in development, and we are very excited about the possibility of having also this new compound as available for patients with Niemann-Pick C disease. Gangliosidosis, GM2 gangliosidosis, for instance, is a disease where there is a lack of an enzyme, and this leads to accumulation of some lipids, abnormal lipids in the CNS, the central nervous system, and this leads to neurodegeneration mainly. Maybe a very catastrophic disease, but maybe also a disease that progresses slowly, and so depending on the type, it may be more severe or more attenuated. In any case, it's a very important condition that impacts a lot the quality of life of the patient. And the compound that is being tested has the ability to interfere on this metabolism and maybe reduce the levels of storage of these gangliosides and other lipids, and with this reducing the amount of the burden of the disease to affected patients. Not the same disease, but they affect the same pathways. So the basic defect is different, but the lipids that are accumulated are quite similar. Well, what was presented here at World are what is being done in terms of a clinical trial, an early stage clinical trial for a new therapy for Niemann-Pick disease type C, which impacts on the synthesis of molecules that are important to cause the problems in the patient. So reducing the synthesis of these compounds, we can probably have a better outcome and modify the natural history of this disease. This is our expectation. In addition to Niemann-Pick disease type C, this trial also aims to evaluate the safety and exploratory efficacy for GM2 gangliosidosis, which is a disease that is a truly orphan disease. There is no treatment approved for this condition, and maybe this drug can provide a better outcome to these patients. And there are other gangliosidosis that may be also target for future studies. So it's an area that we are looking carefully, because there's maybe a possibility for diseases that do not have anything to offer to the patients. The trial is a small trial, just to mainly focus on safety, but has some exploratory endpoints, and so this trial has been performed in a few sites. My site enrolled quite a large number of patients, considering the size of the trial, and we are observing several outcomes, and especially, of course, the safety and tolerability of this compound, but also some exploratory assessments and biomarkers that will be very important when to design a new trial that will probably lead to the registration of this interesting compound for the treatment of Niemann-Pick disease type C. It's important to mention that this treatment is an oral administered, so it's very convenient for patients, and the drug has the ability to bypass the blood-brain barrier and have effects in the brain. So it's something that is not easy to have, because many times we need to have an intrathecal administration or some kind of invasive administration to reach the brain. It's not the case on this drug that has the ability that being taken orally bypass the blood-brain barrier and reach the brain. The current trial is ongoing. In fact, patients are already enrolled, all completed enrollment, so we'll have the evaluations in 2024, and this study will be completed this year, and we expect to have a new study, the study aiming to having a controlled study, to have it started maybe late this year or early next year, and then we'll have this drug evaluated for the possibility of having it available as a commercial product.